Well, now, and what do we have here? Well, we've got a lady. She's standing on the street. Doesn't look too happy. She's on the phone. She looks somewhat agitated. She's not looking pleased at all. Now, I know what you're thinking, but who is this lady? Why does she look so distressed? Who is she on the phone to? What can it possibly all mean? Well, stay tuned, dear viewers, because all will be revealed. Let me introduce you to Eliza O'Donovan. Eliza is a public representative. She is a city and county councillor in Limerick, and she's not looking too happy here. As you can see, she's hanging out there in the street. Hello. Yeah, she's obviously quite put out with something, and I'm going to tell you what she's put out about, because just out of shot here is a group, small enough group of praying Catholics, and they are saying prayers outside the church as Mass goes on inside, because of course, as you all know, we are in lockdown, and whilst you can go to Tesco, Lidl or petrol station or your local hardware store and various other places, one of the places you can't go is to Mass. You can't go inside a church. So Ireland still having a very, very large number of devout Catholics and Christians. These people are doing what they can. They're out in the fresh air. They're out on their own. There you go. You can see them there. And they're saying prayers, which is covered in the Constitution. Religious freedom is absolutely enshrined in the Constitution. Now, Councillor O'Donovan here is not at all too happy about this. And she is, as you can see, filming everybody, making sure she gets all the evidence, because she was on the phone to the guards. It seems that she's so put out about this and thinks it's so highly abhorrent that she wants these praying Christians, these praying Catholics, dealt with by the full force of the law and carted off to Sing Sing. Now, you might think, okay, so she's a bit of a wingnut. So what? Well, that's not the full story, because as with all these things, it always gets better. Wait a minute. What's this? It's that same lady again. Councillor Eliza O'Donovan. What does she say here? As a public rep, I felt it was very important to show support and solidarity with the Black Lives Matter movement today in Limerick. I was blown away at the strong, articulate young people whom spoke about their experiences of racism in our city. Now is the time for equality. And there she is at what looks to be quite a similar gathering, but this time it's Black Lives Matter. So that's all right then. It seems now is the time for equality, except if you're a Catholic, except if you're a Christian, because, well, who cares about them, right? She's not on her phone here because she didn't deem it necessary to call the guards on this gathering. That's reserved for mass goers, it seems. And it gets better, because now there's a whole kerfuffle over this. Having been called out for this hypocrisy, shall we say, the whole thing's gone pear-shaped. Because as it transpired, a Gript publication, Gript got under the story, and we have a piece here by Tim Jackson, and he writes the headline there. You can see it. Politician attended illegal BLM rally, but calls the Gardaí on Catholics at prayer. Now, here's a quick tip, Eliza. If you're going to be a politician, a public representative, calling the cops on people saying a few prayers in the street, it's not a good look. Let's just say it's not very inclusive of you. And especially in light of the fact that you yourself tweeted out a picture of you attending a similar gathering with a similar amount of people, also in lockdown. I don't know why these people just don't get it. I mean, it's not rocket science. Here she is. Nice jacket, by the way. Let's see what Gript has to say, and this is what kicked the whole thing off, because the whole thing kind of got out of hand. People started, I guess, making their feelings felt and harassing this councillor, which is absolutely wrong. It is wrong. Harassment, vile comments, hurtful words. There's no need for it. As a public representative, you have a right to voice your displeasure. You have a right to voice your unhappiness. You have a right to question them. I'm sure Councillor O'Donovan gets that, or at least she should get that. Otherwise, she shouldn't be in politics. But you can't go harassing people. You can't insult them. You can argue with them. You can make your opinion felt. You can disagree with them. And in the end, you can vote them out. Anyway, let's see what Gript has to say, because turns out now she's gone on a full default to victim mode. Councillor Eliza O'Donovan has called the Gardaí on several occasions as Catholics pray outside the Sacred Heart Church in Limerick City Centre each Sunday during Mass. The councillor, originally from England, London I believe, has been accused of hypocrisy, however, after she appeared to also attend an illegal gathering of Black Lives Matter supporters last summer, when public gatherings were prohibited. When contacted by Grip.ie to confirm the allegation that she had attended a prohibited event, and asked whether she considered her now calling the Gardaí on other groups to be inconsistent or hypocritical, Councillor O'Donovan did not reply. She didn't reply because there is no reply to hypocrisy. What possible explanation? You can't just say, oh, well, one cause I agree with and the other cause can go and fuck itself. Can't say stuff like that. But that's essentially what her actions were saying, even if her words were not. Ms. O'Donovan is a founding member of the Limerick Feminist Network and Limerick Pro-Choice. Well, okay. Yeah, that says a lot. Now an independent councillor, she resigned from the Social Democratic Party in 2020 after being elected to Limerick City and County Council in 2018. So she's one of these woke millennial dyed-in-the-wool feminist social justice warriors. You know, they want to change the world. They think they know everything, when in fact they know nothing. So having gotten the gig, having gotten elected, when she started to make decisions, and she's now in a position of power, so she gets to make decisions, she gets to represent people, that's her job. When she started making decisions that showed her to be a bit of a hypocrite, and to show that she didn't represent all the people in her ward or whatever equally, didn't consider them to have equal rights, shall we say. Some can have events and others can't have events. She'll quite happily go to the ones she likes, and she'll call the guards on the ones she doesn't. So when you make bad decisions, when you make bad choices, as a public representative, as somebody in the public eye, as somebody who has sought votes from the public and received votes from the public, you're going to get criticised. You're going to get ragged on. You're going to have people not happy if you make bad decisions on their behalf or not on their behalf. That's politics. That's public representation. It's not all tiptoeing through the tulips. It's not going to be sunny every day. You're going to have some old dear coming up to you in a supermarket or on the street and giving you an earful. Or you'll have some, badly spoken guy somewhere shouting at you from across the street. None of that's pleasant. That's hard. That's a hard part of being a public representative. But that's part of being a public representative. And if you don't get that, Councillor Eliza O'Donovan, if you don't get that this job is hard, you've taken on a job that's difficult. It's not just, wouldn't it be great if I had power and was a politician? Imagine the kudos. Yes, you get the kudos, you get the power, and you get the crappy days too. And if you make a crappy decision, if you make a hypocritical decision, and if you prance up and down the footpath like a petulant, spoilt brat, trying to call in the Gardaí to break up people praying the rosary or saying a few prayers at Mass. If you think that's a good idea and that's going to make you popular, think again. And if you get ragged on and you get people giving out to you and you get people disagreeing with you. Now, I'm not talking about the people going overboard. That's wrong. That's never right. I would never condone that, and nobody should condone that. But people can and should disagree with you and should make it felt that they disagree with you. You're pissing people off, and then you play the victim because they're pissed off. If you're not able for the heat, get out of the kitchen. If you're not able for blowback when you make unpopular decisions, don't go into politics in the first place. It's not the place for you. Go and do your social justice good work in other ways. But don't take on a very responsible and hard job of being a public rep if you're not able to take the blowback when you make a balls of it.